Question is, how was it that humans came to associate notes, harmonies, progressions with certain emotions? There's lots to unpack here because we've got different schools of thought going on. So the first school of thought is that a lot of folks think of music as universally and objectively expressing emotions in very specific ways. So for example, in the key of A major, the note B might mean something very specific. This school of thought requires a very specific learned knowledge and isn't applicable to most people's experiences with music, and it's not what I teach. The second school of thought is music as a means of emotional communication, similarly to how we express emotions in our voices and our bodies, which is what I teach. So to understand this, you need to know a little bit about emotions themselves, what they do, what they're for, and where music might have come from. In the Oxford Handbook of Music and Emotion, Jesslyn and Sloboda define emotions as having to do with 5 different processes in the body: subjective feeling, physiological arousal, expression, action tendency, and regulation. David Huron in Sweet Anticipation, which is a book about expectation and emotion in music, explains that emotions are action motivators, which ties into why we have emotions through an evolutionary perspective. They give us information about our environments and make us act in appropriate ways for survival. But let's get even deeper. The Routledge Companion to Music Cognition has a chapter on emotion in music. This book was actually edited by one of my professors, Richard Ashley, along with his colleague Renee Timmers. So we talked about this in his class on music cognition, that music may be an evolutionary trait to communicate emotion, so that as a group and as a species, we're all on the same page about how to act in given situations. So music as a means of emotional communication has to have the ability to convey that sense of all 5 processes as experienced in the body and their related action tendencies. The way that it seems to do this is by mimicking or metaphorically describing our environments using patterns similar to how we act and speak when expressing emotion. I'm gonna need to do a part 2.